But his answers were predictable. The same man who we met inside the
After 3 days of triple-digit heat in Salt Lake City.
Hello?
Hey, Denise.
Oh, you're there. Okay. You can't see me, can you?
Nope, not yet.
I know. I can't figure out
Let's see
why.
here.
This thing is so weird, this computer. It doesn't want to give people a...
It's not giving you the option for the audio, and mine's in the lower left, but I mean, I know you know how to do it.
I know, and I have...
before.
I know, and it says integrated camera, and I don't understand why I'm not there. It's weird.
And on when you show up on my computer, it doesn't show your videos off, but when I look at your screen, it's all black.
Right. That's what I'm saying too. So I don't understand why this is doing this. Last time when I got it up, it looked like there was 20 of me that I saw, but you all saw it okay. It's really weird. I know.
Computers.
I hate them. That's why I'm going to go back to meeting in person. It's so much easier for me.
Yeah, I think the planning commission totally could.
I don't see why not.
Hopefully. Yeah.
We're a small group.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, see, it's not letting you.
It's not even letting us see her.
I know. Well, I don't never.
Well,
see
mine.
Jennifer.
Yeah, my computer for some reason doesn't have video. Although I just got a new computer, and I don't know. I can't ever get it to work either.
Yeah, I know, and there's nothing.
Modern electronics.
Yeah.
Slide it.
No, don't touch. Don't.
Oh, that's it.
There you go.
I got
There
it.
you are.
That it?
Yay!
Okay, we got to shut the door or something, or the curtains, because I'm all blurry. Yeah.
So is Jason going to be? Will you guys be kind of doing it together? He's participating.
I don't think so, but if you need him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, if we need him, God, I'm
Okay.
so hot today from running around all day. Oh, it has been a day.
Yeah, it was super hot out. Okay, well, cool.
Yeah, I'm here.
Did I get it all fixed?
I think so. I think it's okay now. It's just really weird the way it's. I don't know. It's weird. Okay.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
Doing okay. I got an answer to a question too, so I'm
Awesome.
okay.
Perfect. Where's everybody else at? Ah,
Okay. I don't know, Dwayne. It's just us two. And of course, there's Kent and Jennifer.
well, yeah, and I had to punch a little square box to see you. It was just Ken, unless you just happened to log in the exact time I hit that.
No, I've been here. I was having a hard time earlier when I first started. But I was just trying to go over all the paperwork.
Yes,
Yes.
organize it out.
That's what I'm doing right now from last time and now, and yes, fun, fun.
It is. We were in summertime and probably soon we'll be in a heat warning or perhaps hopefully not a fire danger
Oh, I
deal.
hope not. I mean, Summit's had, I think, 3 already, Summit County. They've had them under control, so that's kind of good, but still concerned though.
Yeah, as warm as it is, and I've been hiking a lot up high, as fast as it's melting, you know, you just know there's going to be consequences for these 85-degree days here.
I know, it's ridiculous. I mean, they were saying today on the news, it hasn't been this hot since 2006, technically, with
Wow.
all this heat. And I don't know where it's coming from because I didn't stay and listen to it. But yeah, I need an air conditioner. I only have fans and they're not
Yeah.
working.
Yeah, I didn't put AC in because, well, we really shouldn't need it up here, but
For days like today.
yeah, I got to move up higher.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I have ceiling fans and I don't know, it's just not enough. And the windows are open and yeah, it's really hot. And then where I work, all the retail stores that we have, none of them have air conditioning, you know? So today I have been sweating everywhere I went. It was just awful. I was like, I just look a mess. I'm all
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, here I am. Just got in the door not too long ago.
Nice.
I don't know. Has anybody else got, what time is it? I don't even know what time it is.
It's close, 5:58.
Oh, yeah, it is. Is this the right day to have the meeting? Right, Jen? Is this the 3rd week? I don't know. Are you there? Hello?
Yeah,
There's
it's the
just
3rd
you.
week,
Oh,
yes.
Okay, there's Ken. Okay.
Jen is not responding.
I know, Jennifer's just not, I don't know, but anyway.
She's muted, so.
Sorry, I
Oh.
stepped out and went to the bathroom real quick. I'm back. Yeah, it is a normal night. Sorry, Denise.
That's okay. I was like wondering, maybe it's an off week or something. It's just us. It's weird.
Yeah.
Ed's here.
How are you doing, Ed?
Great.
Ah, good.
I'm good.
Well, we have a quorum, don't we? Yes.
Yes.
All right. It's progress.
We're the decision makers.
Yeah, I guess so. It could be scary.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ken, do we know if Kathleen and Ann, were they not going to make it?
I talked with Kathleen earlier today. I didn't talk with Ann, so.
And I haven't heard that they're not going to be here, but we could probably go ahead and start if you guys would like.
Right, yeah, let's do it because it's 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh, there's Kathleen. Here she is.
Awesome. Right on time, Kathleen.
Just in the nick of time.
Just getting ready to start. Otherwise, I'll get confused if you log on after we start. I won't know what to do. All right, well, it's Wednesday, June 16th, 2021, 6 p.m. And I call this meeting to order. Roll call, Denise Newton,
Here.
Kathleen Heft,
Here.
Ed Hoover,
Sure.
and I'm here.
Oh, we got that one.
Let's see. Motion to approve the agenda.
Well, hold
I
on a
motion-
second, Dwayne.
Oh,
Sorry, go
I'd
ahead.
like to make a change to the agenda because we didn't get the materials for
Yes.
one item on the agenda, so I'd like to delete an item on the agenda as far as the Parks Master Plan. The changes that the board requested
mhm.
I just received them today, so there was no way to get them to you. So
Okay.
like to delete that item from the agenda and then talk to you at the end of the meeting about scheduling something to take care of that in a week, 2 weeks, or, you know,
Okay.
whatever time frame for y'all.
All right.
But for tonight, delete that item from the agenda.
Okay.
Perfect. So Ken, how do we move forward with this? So we motion to approve the agenda with the Parks
The
Master
amend,
amended.
Yeah.
Amended.
that can be that. Yeah, you just motion for the agenda. Approve the agenda as amended with the deletion
Yes.
of the.
Gotcha.
Okay. I motion to approve the agenda as amended by Kent.
And I'll second.
Okay.
Second.
Ah,
Dwayne, did you ask for everybody to say aye or?
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any
Aye.
Any opposed? No?
No.
Perfect. All right, we have no audience business, correct?
Correct.
New business, George and Rita Schnittgrund, 409th Street for a lot line adjustment.
And members of the board, while Jennifer's getting George Schnittgrund, the applicant, to come on the screen, I'll introduce this. I'll share my screen a little bit. Might be let me
What I do with it?
to show the map here.
Yeah.
To show you where this is at first. You guys all see that?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
This is on Main Street in the 900 block of Main Street. And I'm showing it a little wide right now. It's talking about the lots. Basically, once I start highlighting, I can show you. There's lot 11. There's lot 12. And then 13 here, and then the bottom half of 14. And then there's a little tiny lot in the back here
Oh, yeah.
that now on your packets, it's on, yeah, it'll show a bunch of documents as far as this land use application, but then it shows current and proposed. And I'll let the, and you notice right here, I guess the one thing, and George will make mention of this, is, you know, ask the applicant to present, but I was just trying to kick it off for George. Is there's this one lot line between lot 11 and 12. It actually goes through the house at 906 Main Street.
Ah,
So he can, so does that make sense to you all as far as what I'm showing on the map here? And
mhm.
gives you an orient.
Tell me again, which ones are 11 and 12?
11 is the one where the current house is at,
Okay, 906.
906.
Right.
12 is this one,
Okay,
which is the, includes a little bit of the house, and then this, you know, old building in back, which
yeah,
George will mention something about.
yeah.
And then 13 is probably the largest of the current lots.
Okay,
And then 14 is this half thing. And on your current, on the PDF are the documents that were given you. It shows it like this. And it shows two lot 14s. It just shows that lot 14 split in half.
okay.
Right.
And he's talking about the south half of lot 14.
Right.
So
So it does it include the top half of 14?
doesn't
No, that-
include this.
No.
Okay,
That's
And
the top half.
okay.
And George is on the line and he can probably explain the request and
I don't know, can you hear me? I think they can.
Yeah.
Yes.
yes, we can hear you, George.
Yes.
All right. That little piece that's in lot 12, that was left off the tax rolls 35 years ago. And they discovered it about 15 years ago. And so we had to pay all the back taxes and stuff and then go through that to get that piece of the property. And long time, the Rutherfords used to own it. Mary Lou Rutherford's family owned it years and years ago. But anyway, that little piece there that his arrow's on right here, that little piece we had to buy that through a tax sale. On lot 14, that south half, the north half of 14 was sold in the 50s, I think, or the 40s. It was gone a long time ago, long before we ever bought the property. And we bought the property in the 70s.
Okay.
And this, the on lot 11, that is a barn. It's not a house.
Oh, okay.
It's a storage barn, a shed, and the little building that's to the south of that or to the north of that is a shed.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
None of those. There's no
people in it.
There's no permanent dwelling on any of those lots.
Thank you for correcting me, George.
That's okay.
Since it had the address label on it, that's.
Well, a long time ago, many years ago, 906 and that lot were joined, and we dejoined them because it was confusing.
Okay. Here's the corner. There's two houses.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
Michael's
here's-
house and Carol's house.
Right. And then it starts with this barn property. So what he's proposing to do, and I'll go back to the the papers that you received.
Mhm.
This shows current, and then what he's proposing to do, this says proposed, is eliminate this lot line that goes through that barn and shed structure
Mhm.
and move the line to basically right here.
I'm,
Can-
what are you using to point? I'm not seeing where you're pointing.
Not
either.
I have a little hand.
Okay.
Do you see my little hand?
No.
It's off to the side now. Now I'm right over created. And if you can't see that,
No.
then let me get a little pointer. Oh, where is that?
Well, we have a hard copy. We do have a
Right.
hard copy. Yeah.
There's the line to be created. Can you see the red line now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this X is the current one.
Gotcha.
That's to be deleted. So he's just moving it that so many feet.
Mhm.
And then
You're drawing on our house.
That's 400.
That you're drawing on 409th. You need to move over to Maine.
Yeah, just move over one whole block.
Oh, yeah.
oh, I have the
I
PDF
mean, you
up.
can
And
X out my house if you want to, but
well, that's what I wasn't trying to do that, George, but I have the PDF up on my screen, not the map. You must have. I'll stop the share and try that again. Okay. Now do you see the PDF?
Yes.
And now I see the hand.
And now you see the
Yeah.
hand? Okay. I switched on my computer from the map to the PDF and it didn't
Mhm.
follow. So sorry about that. But right here,
Okay.
so right here is the line to be created. You see that
Right.
now, don't you?
Mhm. Yes.
And that's moving it from here.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So does that make a little more sense now? And this is the drawing of the structure where the lot line goes through it right now.
Right.
And then I gotta, so I can go up the other one. Well, now, okay, now I gotta erase that or stop the share and share again. Sorry about that. And then you see the other lot lines to be deleted. Then the lot line to be created. It's basically moving it.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's trying to make the best of a situation. And his proposed lots need to, and I talked with George about this just before this meeting. I didn't catch that before it was in your packet. He has proposed lot 1 here and proposed lot 2. It needs to stay with the current lots. It just be an amended lot 13 and amended lot 12,
Oh,
amended
Okay.
lot 11. Because they're already on this block. It's over on Griffith Street, lots 1, 2, and 3.
Okay,
So-
then I have a
Okay.
question at this point.
Sure.
Before we go further. I looked up minimum lot sizes in the historic residential district and it said there to be 5,000 square feet.
Right. Right.
And these are all
Mhm.
37 plus.
There is a provision in the code that says any non-conforming lots of record can be 25% below that 5,000 square foot minimum. And there's plenty of lots within historic residential.
But
That
not the
are-
ones that are platted here.
Yeah, and even right now, these lots don't equal 5,000. None of the lots are 5,000 square foot. So they don't meet the code as it is, but there is and I'll go to that section of the code because I had that up as well. Well, I got to get that on my, okay. There we go. Except I'm not over far enough. I gotta move. It says any non-conforming lot of record that was lawfully established prior to the adoption of this chapter or any amendment thereto may still qualify as a lawful building site subject to the following conditions. The lot area and lot width are not more than 25% below the minimums. And it's also, you can have it
More than
25% below. So that 5,000 can become 3,750.
750.
Wait,
Right.
it says any non-conforming lot of record.
Right. That was lawfully established.
But was
Now-
there a lot of record established there?
These are the lots. Yeah, they were.
They weren't established as this.
Not as this, but you're moving the lot line. It doesn't disenfranchise him from his lots to move the lot line. And you're not creating any additional lots. In fact, you're removing a lot
That's what I was
in
gonna
order
say.
to meet
You're-
it.
Yeah, you're going with one less lot, so it makes
Are you?
sense for,
You
Yeah,
are going with one less lot?
yeah, based off of
Yeah.
this, based off of this.
you're
Mhm.
basically adding the half lot of 14, which is
Onto 13.
definitely not a buildable lot at this
Right.
point. Adding it on to the lot 13, so you can make a lot that meets that minimum requirement of just over 3,750.
I see what you're saying. I just disagree with the fact that it was, as the terminology was given, that's as it was
Right.
platted at the time.
Yeah, and
And I
I
do,
ju-
I do
Go ahead,
remember
Kathleen.
being on the Board of Selectmen at the time that that whole thing was written. And I can tell you that our intent was to not create more small lots.
Right, right. You're actually eliminating a lot and also moving a lot line away from, that goes through a building.
I see that.
So, which is a problem right now, you
Right.
know, and we have that with other
I
buildings in
understand that.
town too. But the remaining property, and that's what I was confirming with the town attorney. It's actually making the lots more buildable, he said, or more meets the code better.
Well,
Because
one does already, and the other one wouldn't.
yeah, you couldn't build on the half of lot 14, and the other ones, they're, in order to, if you move the one lot line to get out of the building that's already there, that was there a long time ago,
Mhm.
you would create another unbuildable lot basically on lot 12.
Can you put up that plat again?
Yeah. So there we go.
Hey, Ken, I have just one quick question.
Sure.
In this area here, you can build on 40% lot coverage, right?
That's a different question. There's always limits. There's always what the code says as far as how much.
Gotcha. Well, and just a question on that, with the lot coverage size of lots being smaller, the idea of what size structure you could build on there, that would make sense too. You know, obviously at 3,700 square foot, if you're only 30% lot coverage, you can at least get more of a decent sized house. But then I wouldn't know what the setbacks without looking through the book. It was
20
just
feet in the front, 5
Yeah,
on the sides.
gotcha.
The maximum building coverage for all structures in historic residential is that 40%.
Yeah, so I mean, I get what Kathleen's saying. It's definitely doesn't. I mean, with what they had set up with 5,000 square foot, but with this, you know, I think that also too is to keep people from taking, you know, 8,000 square foot lot and making it 2.4. You know, like you said, you're actually losing a lot here and making it better fit the area.
Right.
It would seem to me that this would be an issue for the Board of Adjustment.
The lot line adjustment procedure doesn't include that.
No,
Now,
I saw that. I'm just saying, I think we're in a different circumstance here.
Okay.
Why would that be? Can I ask a question? Why would that be a Board of Adjustment thing?
Well, why would it be Board of Adjustment? Because typically they do handle things like the lot lines. I did read this section saying that now it comes to planning, but I think it's different because it's questioning the intent of the zoning regulations as they exist. You know, we're sitting here saying, well, can we, you know, give away one that's the correct size in order to make one, 2 of them that should have been put in as they were historically put together.
Well, that
And I
works.
do,
except-
you know, and I do understand that all over this town, there are buildings that lap over onto lot lines and that sort of issue as well.
But yeah, and fence lines too, but in
Right.
order to build, the only lot that right now is buildable is lot 13. It has enough 3,750 square feet in and of itself.
Right.
12 and 14 and 11 do not have enough. And you cannot, our intent was to make the lots even so that you could build, maybe not me, but somebody who could build
For
3
reason-
nice houses there on a regular lot, rather than have, you know, you can't sell them. You can't, they're not, you know, they're really, the way they sit right now, they're really unusable.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And so we're just
Yeah.
trying to make them usable.
I just don't know that
see
it's
that.
something that we can overcome as, you know, a zoning issue that was written. And there were reasons for that, and I don't want to get into them now, but there was
No.
manipulations of lot lines so that people could do what you're proposing, and it was rejected for, again, a number of reasons.
Kathleen, I texted the town attorney. Would it be helpful if he would be able to answer some questions for you, Kathleen, regarding procedure?
Sure.
Because I think it's a fair question that you're bringing up. Because it's trying to answer that question of how this should proceed. And if it's, as a lot line adjustment, so.
Hey, Jerry, this is Kent. I will have to hold you to the speaker maybe. Because Kathleen Haft has a question about whether, is this more a question for the Board of Adjustment than for the Planning Commission, even though this is a lot line adjustment and that's how it's handled. And, she read that part of the code, but she has a question regarding, is this more a question for the Board of Adjustment? So, and she may state it better than I did. So I didn't want to say it in half, but go ahead, Kathleen.
Well, I think you stated it just fine. I just question whether, when I read the code or the zoning code, it suggests that they were as platted. You could build down to 3750, but it didn't seem to me that you could reduce one that's of larger size in order to add it to another size to make them both within the exception category. And I would also say that when this zoning ordinance was written, there were a number of issues of people owning more than one lot who thought that maybe they could re-subdivide those into a bunch of smaller lots. So I just question whether this is eligible and whether the Board of Adjustment would be another place to raise the issue.
Well, we can address the first question. The second question isn't in front of us, is it?
No, well.
Really?
No.
Okay, so let's take up the one that is. And probably the place to start and stay would be the jurisdiction and authority of the Board of Adjustment, which is later in the code, and I've got it here, what their powers are. So the scope of their authority is in 1732.020C. They decide appeals from administrative determinations. That's not the case here. They hear, as you point out, applications for variances from the provisions of this title, and then you get into the hardship standard that you're familiar with, the unique physical circumstances, et cetera. And that the variance won't alter the essential character of the neighborhood. I kind of view, I will say that I view the code provision that says if you were a lot that was platted, legally platted, but that now is short in terms of area, as against the existing requirement, 5,000 square feet. So long as you've got 3750, you have the continued right to build on it, and that's not an uncommon kind of provision. In fact, it actually is a little more protective of the town and less protective of the property owner than some other codes where it just says if you got a legally platted lot, you're done, you're good. Here, there's actually kind of a lower limit that you can't go below. So that entitlement, I think, is something that property owners here have, and I did not view, as Kent's probably said, the adjustment of lot lines as changing that entitlement or making it larger or greater than it already is, and not making the degree of a nonconformity any greater. The point you made is, the key point probably is, whether all the lots presently, they're going to get reconfigured, that's the proposal, but whether they presently are at least each of them 3750. And is that the case? I had understood that it was, such that you're not creating any new lots. Some of them may get larger or smaller, but I think the thrust of the code on the 3750 is the minimum, as against a prior platted lot, is you don't increase the number of building sites.
Right, which is why I'm questioning this. And I know you're not increasing the number of building sites, but you are making one of the sites smaller to make the other one. I see what you're saying, though. I understand what you're saying. I don't have the code in front of me, but I was looking at 17-16-041D.
Hang on, let me get to that. 16041 D, the area in bulk.
Right.
Okay, I'm there.
Can you read it to me, because I don't have it open in front of me?
Oh, well, area in bulk in the historic residential district.
Right.
Minimum 5,000 square feet.
Right.
Says refer to 1732-010 for all existing platted lots less than 5,000 square feet, which is, of course, the item we're talking about. So it establishes the lot area at 5,000, but cross-references over to 1732-010, the existing platted lots, to basically create an exception to the 5,000 that I think we all agree exists.
Although
so I'm not sure that I understand the point you're making, and as usual, the tricky questions are the ones that kind of fall in the cracks, right? And where you don't have a code section that they're not really very. If we went to Board of Adjustment, the question would be, well, what standard is being varied or changed? And not really. It's true that you're moving land from one lot to another, but are you changing a standard? The standard, I suppose, would be, if you don't do anything and they just build where they are, do they have the right to do it? And the answer is yes.
Only if it's 50 square feet.
Say again?
Only if it's 5,000 square feet. If you just wanted to build a new house?
No, only if a lot has 3750. And
on the existing lot.
Planted that way.
If it was platted to at least 3750.
Right.
It is allowed to be built. And I guess if the truth is that the existing lots have that area, and therefore there would be legally under those rules of the prior platted lots, there would be 4 units. Then to readjust the lot lines.
How could there be 4?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm not there. It's hard for me to know when to talk. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, how could there be 4?
The original.
The current one says lot 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Well,
And he wants to bring it down to 11, 12, and 13, correct?
It's just that you couldn't build on a number of those lots as they are. So you never could build 4 units there. So you're going 3 down to 2. but you're not going from 4 to 2.
Right, it's basically
4 to 3.
4 to 3.
You're not starting with 4. You can't build 4 there as it is.
Right.
But there's 4 lots, whether or not you could build on all 4 is.
Right.
There's still 4 lots there. Just, you
Right.
just.
There are
Yeah.
4
But-
partial lots. I own some half lots, but that doesn't do me any good.
Well, I got a quick question. How did that ever get, how is it possible that a lot was created that small and then at a certain time frame was made so that you couldn't build on it? So like, say if I owned lot 14 for the last 50 years, and then a code is brought in, it has to be 5,000 minimum square foot.
But it's been platted that way, so you would have the right to
So-
do it.
Okay, so like right now, would you have the right to build on lot 14?
No, lot 14 is not a buildable lot.
Gotcha.
So, because it's half a lot.
Yeah, how did that
And-
become half a lot though, is what I'm asking.
George was saying that it was split long before he owned it.
Okay, gotcha. So somebody else had split it up. Never mind, that makes sense.
Split that
Yeah.
back in the 50s or 60s or whatever. And it's not really functional at this point.
I mean, there's some questions that we can answer to that are pertinent to the application, and some that aren't. But if I'm a little bit of a disadvantage. Obviously, I'm doing the best I can here. But if there are, for the moment, leaving the 1/2 a lot up at the top out of the calculation just for the moment, there are 3 other lots, right?
Correct.
Yes.
That's true. Does each of them have 3750 square feet?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
You told me
No.
they did.
George, tell me whether that is true or not.
No, they,
But 11 and 13 and.
11 and 12 are
11,
not big enough.
12,
They're not
right.
3,750 square feet.
11 and 12 do not?
They are not 3,750 unless you adjust the lot line. You have to move the lot lines to make them 3,750. And you need to take that other part of 14. That other part of 14, that half of lot 14 is what makes all those lots buildable. Because that
Right.
lot 14 just sits there by itself. It's not, you can't do anything with it anyway. You have to join it with one of the other lots. And so if you join it with 13 and you move the lot line, make 12 a little bit bigger, you move the lot line for 11, make it a little bit bigger, you get 3 lots that are 3,750 instead of 4 or 3.5 lots.
Okay, I was told that the 3 that are there were 3750 and we're just adding and readjusting. If that's the case, I'd say you had 3, you still will have 3. But I mean, as the facts change, your review has to change, I suppose. That's embarrassing for me.
I didn't
Let me
intend to
think
do
about
that.
this.
Jim.
It's all
Well, I
right.
would say that it's not that the one lot is unusable. The one lot can still be joined with the smaller lot that's south or north of it.
Yes, you can join lot 14 to 13 and that would make one lot that's still not 5,000 square feet. But then you've got 11 and 12 and they're under 3,000 square feet.
No, they're not.
No, they're not under.
They're not under, but they're not 3,750 by
They're
themselves.
37.
3,750.
Yeah, they're 30. Lot 12 is 3766 and lot 13 will turn into 3777. So that's over.
That's the proposed, yeah.
That's the
Right,
proposed
that's
lot.
proposed.
That's
That's
not
what,
the original lot.
no,
Okay.
the original, no.
Well, the real question is
Well-
kind of what I think Kathleen's saying. The real question is this: with changing the lot lines, should you have to bring it up to 5,000 square foot, which then arguably you would only have 2 technically buildable lots there, or does it fall in that you could do these 3 with the 25% less? If that's, I guess that'd be colored in. I mean, Kathleen, that's what you're going.
We could only build one house.
There's not 10,000 square feet in all 4 of those lots.
if you take three of those, if you take what's set up there and you split it in half, that's 2 buildable lots that would be more than 5,000
So
square
we
foot.
can move a lot line and split a lot like they did to our property before that, but we can't adjust the lot line to build 3 houses. Well, we're not building, but to make 3 houses on 3 lots that were plotted with a little extra because we would like to have them a decent size for the city.
Yeah, I mean, my question wasn't to you. My question was to Kathleen on what she was actually looking to.
I wasn't trying to solve the problem. I was just raising the issue.
Well, and that was my issue. I don't like problems. I only like solutions. So my question to you, Kathleen, was, is that what you were looking for, them to take this and make it 5,000 square foot?
No, they probably can't, which means that they get 2 lots instead of 3.
Right. So then my issue was, doesn't this work then? Because they're meeting that 25% less for all 3 lots by doing this. That fits.
But they aren't platted that way.
What do you want to get out of this? And that's what I'm asking. Because if you got to replat it, then you're only going to get 2 lots, which they want 3.
I know.
Well, I have a suggestion.
Sure, go ahead, Jerry.
You rope me in. I'll keep trying. I'll do my best.
Yes.
Now that I understand a little better how the lotting is set out, etc., here's my thought. There will be a replatting activity that will take place.
Correct.
If they were to take all the land and replat it to 2 lots, but hear me out. Don't jump in yet. If you replatted it to 2 lots, what I'm hearing is each of those lots would be conforming to the zone district minimum lot size standard of 5,000 square feet. That's one door. It doesn't require you to go to BOA because you've just got a bunch of land that you're going to develop at 5,000 square feet, which is the required minimum lot size in that zone district. That's one door. Not quite done. Door number 2 is, okay, if you want to end up with 3 houses or 3 buildable lots, you can do that by filing an application for 2 things. So that in that case, you'd also, besides a replatting effort, it would be a parallel variance request to the Board of Adjustment to vary the minimum lot size below 5,000 square feet for this project in the zone district, something they have the power to do. The 3750 previously platted lot rule becomes irrelevant in both of those circumstances. It just doesn't matter it just doesn't matter. So if the property owner's goal is to get 3 lots, there's not enough area to do 3 lots of 5,000 square feet, as I understand it, right? Is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. So in order to get 3, it's a subdivision application paired with a trip to the BOA to waive the minimum or to lower the minimum lot requirement in that zone district for this property to whatever number is the smallest of the 3 lots after being reconfigured. Whatever it is, and frankly, it can be whatever number, because then it's the BOA granting a variance, and the 3750 isn't the controlling standard. Although if I were on the BOA, I'd say, that's a good way for us to look at it, but we're not required to. So from a timing standpoint, the commission could probably do one of a couple things. It could continue this while there's a trip to the BOA to see if the variance is approved. If the variance is approved, Dynamite, you can finish your work on this. If it's not approved, then the property owner's got a choice to make. But the other door is you could act on it tonight. You could say, okay, we're going to approve this subdivision with this reconfiguration with the condition that approval isn't effective unless and until the BOA grants a variance to the minimum lot size in the subdistrict for this property. Those are two doors. There's a door number 3, which is we're going to deny it. I mean, denial is always a door, but there's 2 approval doors, if you're following my thinking here, and there's one denial door. Or the applicant could withdraw it and resubmit for a 2-lot subdivision with more than 5,000 square feet in each lot. But I hear and appreciate and understand the applicant, believes, I think reasonably, that there's 3 units here that people have been relying on being able to be built. So the 2 doors are, you could approve it with this condition that the lot size get varied at BOA, or continue the case and have them take the trip to BOA and come back to you with their BOA ticket punched, or not, depending upon what BOA would do. That's my take. But I think Catherine's right, that if the numbers aren't such that you have 3 pre-existing lots of 3750, there's not that pre-existing entitlement that the code is trying to protect. She's focused on that appropriately, I think. And so you go to these other 2 doors that I'm suggesting. Questions?
So I have a question, please.
Go ahead.
The lots, we do not have 3 lots that are 3,750 to begin with.
Well, okay,
The
yeah.
idea with this lot adjustment is to make the lots 3,750.
Lot 11 is 3,100 square feet.
A lot 11 is only 3,100 square feet.
Platted.
As platted.
As platted, the way it's platted from 1850, it's only 1,100 square, 3,100 square feet. So you can't,
And let me address that.
that line has to be adjusted in order to make that lot buildable. So you have to move
agree.
it to the south, to the north.
And in order to do that, you have to move
I
the
agree.
next lot line.
You just have to scuttle them a little bit to make those lots usable. They're not
So-
usable now.
Whoever sold 14 or approved the sale.
Whoever approved the selling of lot 14,
Moved lot lines.
they moved the lot line and they should not have done that. They should have made them buy the entire lot or forget it. But they
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
But not,
So
Yeah, I
it's pretty easy at that time to just move the lot. We'll just move it the way you want to.
Yeah.
What we're trying to
we
do
take our
is
facts on our
adjust-
clients, as you know, as we find them, and sometimes there's freckles on them. And in a community like Georgetown, there's a lot of freckles, and you just have to kind of, and that's the truth. I agree with you that the speaker, and I'm sorry I'm not there, that lot isn't buildable now and will need to have a lot line adjusted, but that's why a re-subdivision process is designed for that. This re-subdivision process with the reconfigure lines they're looking at may well be fine with the commission once you get a BOA ticket punched. That's one of the doors. And let me address the one question that was asked about, well, if it was platted at a given level, how can the town at any, no matter how small it was platted legally to begin with, how can the town preclude development of that lot by itself? And I will tell you, the law is pretty clear on that, especially in mining towns, that until it's developed, and if you own adjacent property, you're required to comply with the newer and usually larger minimum lot sizes. Although what the town has done in their code is said, yeah, you have to comply, but we'll give you a break down to 3750, which is better than some communities. I was the town attorney for the town of Alma. Everybody knows where that is, at 10,400 feet in Park County. And all their lots there are 25 feet by 100. But their current zoning code says that you've got to have 2 lots to build a house, despite the fact that those 25 foot by 100 lots were legally platted in 1878. And the town has the power to do that. Here, Georgetown's gone some of the way there, but frankly given a little bit more of a break than Alma would have. But it's legal for them to have that rule. Bringing us back to what's in front of you, which is a kind of straight up application to readjust lot lines to make really better and more buildable lots, which is a perfectly appropriate application. It's just that the lots that result will be below the minimum. The 3750 exemption doesn't apply for the reasons we've talked about. So it's going to require a BOA trip to get 3 lots out of it. Something that can easily be done. If BOA says yes, you're good. Bringing me back to procedure, and I'm always kind of a process guy. Okay, what are our choices? And you could act tonight with the condition that your approval is not effective unless and until BOA approves, and if BOA disapproves, then your approval goes away. Or you can continue this case, wait for BOA to act, and then with that approval in hand, if it is approved, then you can finish your case. Either door works. And on balance, I would do one of those two rather than simply denying, because a denial would just force the applicant to have to refile the same subdivision readjustment application, because they're not going to change the lines around. It's just a matter of will the BOA allow it or not, right?
Right.
So I wouldn't put the applicant through that. That's what I do. One of the two doors will certainly keep the thing in process. And I'm not, I deliberately don't say I approve or disapprove of a thing, because that's not my job, it's yours. But to keep it in front of you for your decision and action, that would be the way to do it.
Does that make sense to y'all?
Yeah.
Does that answer the question, Kathleen, regarding what you're?
It does. It does.
Okay.
And
Sharp eye, Kathleen. Sharp pencil. Good for you.
it makes a lot of sense to me. I will say that I can do one of two things. This is for me. I can vote against the possibility of this application, or I can say that I'm against it and vote for it to go to the BOA and then reconsider when it comes back.
BOA approves it.
Because I'm just concerned about having so many small lots. We have fire hazard and any number of other issues, places where people can't park a car, they have to park out in the street. And so when you go through all of the issues of having the smaller lots, we didn't want to take away anything from the people who did have the smaller lots that they were put on, but we set that 3750 as a fallback. So I'm still personally in favor of a larger lot. So I'm comfortable with the ordinance as it is.
So somebody will need to make a motion to either approve with the condition that a BOA variance to the minimum lot size be granted consistent with the proposed lot lines here, or motion to continue the application until the applicant can provide evidence of a BOA approval of the smaller lot sizes than the number in the code. So door one is approved with the condition. And if the condition, by the way, isn't satisfied, BOA says no, then that would mean that your approval goes away. So it's effectively a denial by you at that point. Door number two would be, thank you very much. It's been interesting. We're going to send you to the Board of Adjustment, and we'll see you on the other side and take it up again. That's door number two.
May we ask a question?
Ask away, Denise.
Who's that is?
That's the applicant.
Oh, sorry. I thought you
Goes
were.
to the Board of Adjustments and they approve it. And then we come back and you can disapprove it again?
That would be correct, right, Kent?
With one of the motions, yes.
Yeah.
With one of the options.
I have to just bring up why it upsets us so much. We bought that property planning to build homes for our sons. We were told the city would give us no water. They would give us no electricity. And if we put it in our plant sewer, and if we put it in, we had to maintain it on our own. So we've sat with that property for 30 years and it's useless. And you're still charging us taxes, but you won't give us city access to it. So now we have a chance to have our family here And you're going to disenfranchise us again and say we can't build on our lots. That's why we're upset. This just does not sound fair. You wouldn't give us water, you wouldn't give us sewer, and now you won't move the lot lines 10 feet.
Well, I can't. I'm sorry. I thought you were finished.
No, I just said we don't understand. It's
Okay.
just-
Well, and I can only work from where we're at. As far as the water and sewer situation, that was decisions made long ago, and there's
Oh, I'm not blaming
not much I can do about that.
That's, excuse me, we're not blaming you that. It's just that everything we tried to do in this town, we've gotten hit by this. And
Yeah.
just because we want our family here, now we can't even start. Now that the opportunity is there, you're gonna stop it again.
Well, there's been no vote yet, and they haven't decided one way or the other yet, but.
She's decided.
Well, like in my take on it is, I personally like to see more. This is a personal thing with me. I like to see more lots. And coming from a background of building, with the way these lots are set up like this, even though they're minimum, it requires you still get to 40% if this would pass for the smaller houses. So that still fits. I think there's, with the new codes and such, you can't have on-street parking, which I'm sure, Kathleen, I think you realize that there has to be 2 parking spots on the lot. I don't see any issues with this. It meets, the 3750. It works. I mean, if you guys sold this and somebody else bought this and they did the 2 5,000 square foot lots, at 40% lot coverage, it's just going to be 2 bigger houses there instead of 3 smaller houses. My question, I think, more is with you, Kathleen. I fully understand why the 5,000 square foot lot coverage was established in place. I don't feel like it fits this so much. I think the way that this is laid out fits the houses. You don't have on-street parking. It has to be parking on the lots.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt you,
Yeah,
because I know
go
where
ahead.
you're going with this, but what I'm going to just tell you as an extra thing is these lots are going to be approximately 37 to 38 square or feet across the front.
Right.
You take your 2
No, they're
setbacks out.
58 feet.
They're 58 feet.
They're 5835.
No, I'm not talking about the square footage of the lot. I'm talking about the front lot line.
They're
Yeah.
58 feet long
They're
wide.
58 feet
Uh,
wide.
58.
Yeah, so they
Dwayne,
sorry.
have them address you instead of yelling at the board members.
Well, so Kathleen, yeah, I'll answer for you. The lots are 58 across the front.
Right there.
With the setbacks, you have enough room to.
So
to
they're
place-
less steep than the normal lot.
Yeah, you have enough room to fit
Okay.
a house, fit the driveways, because you need 25 foot off of the road for your driveway on your
Right.
property to fit
Mhm.
your 2 cars. So it does work. And I've dealt with this with the smaller lots in
Okay.
town. It works. It fits.
Okay, I didn't realize that the long distance was across or not the long distance, but that the distance isn't 37 feet across the front.
Yeah, and one thing too, Kath, this is
58 feet wide.
right. And one thing too, like
37 point.
yeah. One thing also too, Kathleen, it's, if you do 2 houses, you have, I guess, separate with permit fees and tap fees. I don't know if that applies to this so much versus 3 tap fees, et cetera, that arguably benefits the town.
Yeah, but I don't think that's germane to the issue here, Dwayne.
No, correct.
My only issue was that I didn't think you could put a house on that lot with 5-foot setbacks and still have room for a driveway.
Which
that
they
goes
have
to the
to,
back
they
of the house.
Yeah, but they would have to build a house on there. So you have to fit a driveway on there. You can't have on-street parking and
Right.
not have a driveway.
Right.
So that's how they design the house, how they choose. That's not up to us, but your question with having too much cars on the road solves that problem. Yeah, I mean, I would choose the motion to approve as it is. It's moving the lot lines. It's solving a half of a lot that's not going to be good for anything.
We can't approve as it is.
What's that?
We can't approve as it is unless part of your motion includes going to the Board of Adjustment.
So Kent, do they have to? They have to. So then,
That's what the town attorney's advice was. Yes, that
sorry, I missed
it's,
that.
there, you can either motion to approve contingent on Board of Adjustment approval regarding the lot size. Or you can motion to continue the hearing until the Board of Adjustment is completed. Or you can deny it. Those are the three doors that the town attorney mentioned.
Gotcha. I mean, my motion would be to approve with, sorry, once again, with
The contingent upon the Board of Adjustment also approving
yeah,
the
variance to the minimum lot size.
variance to the
Right.
minimum lot size.
exactly.
Is that your motion?
Is that your,
Yeah.
yes. Then I
Yes.
second.
Is there a second?
I
Yes.
second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yes, one.
So let that be noted.
Okay. Then,
May I ask a question?
Yes,
If
go.
if we come back to you and you again say no, why should we pay taxes on that land that's useless?
Well, we're not, I mean, it's a quorum. I mean, if you come back to it,
Why
you-
would you want us to put
this is,
5,000 square foot lots there when there's not enough housing in this town to begin with?
ma'am, and Dwayne, may I answer that?
I
Kent?
know.
Ma'am, it's actually been approved contingent upon Board of Adjustment approval.
Yes.
So it's not coming back to the Planning Commission.
Uh,
So it's approved with this board, with this body right now. And then it's contingent upon the Board of Adjustment also approving. So then I will work with George and anybody else associated with the applicant as far as the application to the Board of Adjustment to get that presented to the Board of Adjustment and taken care of there. So,
When do they meet?
When do
next?
they meet?
And how much does that cost?
Well, we're making, I guess the way to look at this is you're making progress, and that's good. But the planning commission isn't the right body to kind of now help structure the application to the Board of Adjustment, what it's going to cost, how you file it, et cetera. It's not their job. It's not the job of this hearing, but it is something that you work with the town administrator on, and you get that application filed. But the planning commission has taken the action that is in front of them, which was an approval. One step at a time, but it's an approval, and work with the staff on the application to BOA. The planning commission isn't the group to kind of help you figure out that application.
we'll work with you as quickly and as best as we can. And the Board of Adjustment meets when we request them to. So there's hearing timelines within the code, so we just follow the rules and we take it from there. But I'll discuss that all, and then I'll be glad to talk with you tomorrow, George, regarding that.
Okay, I will do that, Ken.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Jerry. I appreciate it.
Sure. You bet. You bet. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, we're on to Foster and Kate Hawkins at 701 First Street for a lot line adjustment. Have you guys all been able to review that?
Yep.
Any questions?
Ken's computer has froze for a minute. He'll be back in about 30 seconds probably. It always does it at 7 p.m. He'll be right
Yeah.
back.
We'll give him a second.
While we're waiting, can you
Yes.
tell me the size of those lots? I mean, how deep are they from the street? You say they're 38 wide, and how deep are they then from the street? The ones that we've just been talking about.
They're 58, the proposed lots are 58 feet wide.
And how deep?
65 feet.
Okay, thank you.
Or around that. I mean, it's
Yeah,
different for
that's
each
fine.
lot, but
Yep.
yeah. Okay. All right, to the second lot adjustment. Sorry about that. Every night at 7 o'clock and for every meeting, my computer freezes for about 1 minute. So
Yeah, well, I think you missed it, Ken. I had opened it up and started it. Does any of the board members have any questions on that or comments?
No, and I would just say that I'm fine with everybody else voting against my position.
Yeah, sorry,
You know,
Captain.
it's still going to go through, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and
So
I fully understand where you're coming from too.
Yeah.
All right, with Foster and Kate Hawkins at 701 First Street with a lot line adjustment. Any questions? Go ahead. Go ahead.
probably the best thing for me to do, and I don't, is I'm going to share my screen with a map because I don't know if you got this in your packet, and I apologize. I didn't. So can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you see that, Kathleen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And Mr. Hawkins, he's the applicant. And there's nobody else with you, correct, Foster?
That is correct.
Okay. There's these two lots here, and the adjustment is right down towards the bottom here. And you can see on this, it says stairs there.
Right.
There's a set of stairs that crosses the property line. And Foster, why don't you describe the history of that?
Yes, well, thank you all for taking the time to look at this. My parents, Lee and Kate Hawkins, purchased this property back in the 1960s. And at the time, these were a set of poured concrete stairs that, you know, obviously were just there. And then probably since, probably the last 15 years, all of a sudden now a lot line marker went up on the property that showed that these poured concrete stairs were not on our property, but actually on the adjacent property owned by the Hartongs. And we utilize these stairs for parking up on First Street. So what we have tried to do working with the Hartongs is to say, how can we kind of remove their liability plus give us in perpetuity the idea that these stairs are actually ours, and if their property is sold, we won't have to change it. So this is our first best guess on how to do that.
So what this does is the boundary line continued. Can you see my hand?
Mhm.
Yes.
My computer hand, not my real hand,
Yes.
but my computer
Yes.
hand. Come down through the middle here, and then this dash line right here is the boundary line to be eliminated.
Okay.
And it's swinging the door, basically, to have the lot line moved over to here, so that it includes the entire stairs. So that's what this lot line adjustment is about. It's moving this from one parcel to the other so that the entire stairs can be on the original parcel.
So, excuse me, do the Hartongs, is their house on the north side of parcel 2?
No, their house is actually down. If you can continue to go down, Kent.
Okay.
Their house is on lot number 2.
Wow.
Oh, they're way down here on 2nd Street.
We're correct.
Okay.
Okay.
they own this lot behind their house, basically all the way up to where First Street is. But there's
Correct.
really,
There's no structures on parcel number 2, nor on lot number 8 as well, with the Hartongs also own.
Okay.
I'll try to bring the map up. I was moving in towards it, but it wasn't all the way there yet. Okay. Now I'll share my screen for the map. Hopefully it'll populate by the time I get it up. Or it's still loading. Okay. Can you see the map now? I'm kind of. This 701 is where Foster Hawkins' property is.
Right.
This is Hartong's, the
House.
705 on Second, but they also own this lot and that one.
Right.
So they have that. Does that bring up any more questions for you, Kathleen?
Well, it does. Looking at the problem we just went through, I think what you're proposing is perfectly reasonable, but are we now making that lot that you're taking that section out of into an illegal lot?
It was already, I think it's already a hair less square footage than the 5,000 anyway.
Okay.
But it would still fall under the 25%, right?
No, well, I'm looking at it right now. I don't know about that lot. I'm looking it up. So I think it's plenty big enough, but. Oh, it includes all of them together.
Oh.
So all 4 lots, as you can see, can you see that?
Yes.
I don't know, big enough, but.
Yeah.
All 4 of them together are 18,900 square feet.
Square feet, yeah.
Now it's a little bit less than 20,000, so they're pretty close to 5,000 a piece as is because they have those little notches.
Yeah. Well,
Over
Ken, I
here.
thought the one that you had up, I thought it showed right on that lot next to it what exactly it was.
I think it was 49 something, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was already a hair under, but close.
Right.
I don't know which one you're referring to, Dwayne, so.
The
It's
first,
the one that he's taken out of. It's the one that he's taken, that he's wanting to use part of to make it work.
Right, when I brought that up, that's the one that it won't.
But
It'll
you
show
had,
me all for
yeah,
them.
you had something that you shared a screen on and I thought it showed it.
yeah, the first one,
Yeah, the
Kev, that
first-
you had up with the actual lines showing what's going to be changed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go back to
Put that-
that. Up to this, okay. 4924.
Yeah. See, I thought
Yeah.
I saw 49.
Well, I guess that's what it takes it to. So yeah, you're right, Kathleen. With moving that, did it drop it under 5,000 square foot? And would that be an issue later?
That's all I'm asking.
No, and that
I
makes.
don't want to create another issue. I think that's a good solution, but again, is that then a Board of Adjustment issue? Now, it's not that
Yeah.
easy to build up there anyway, so maybe you need to do it. So that's a whole nother issue. I just raised part of the issue. I
Yeah,
have no problem with what's being submitted.
No, true, but it's always good to educate.
you know, as an independent lot, I mean, it's associated with other lots, so it's not affected that way. But it is identified as a separate lot. So going along the same lines.
Yeah. Yep.
But it is very difficult to, but if it would go through that, it would have that badge approval always in the property file. That would always,
So do we motion to approve it the same way we did the other, going to the board BOA for their?
I think the issue is with the adjacent property owner, not with us. So
Not
I
on
would
the
like to approve because it's not an issue with us. It's only an issue with the adjacent property owner.
So the Hartongs know this is going to happen, correct?
Oh my, yes.
Okay, okay,
I was anticipating that Toby Hartong would be on this meeting as well, but he's not.
okay.
they submitted as part of their documents.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know,
Yeah.
that they said, you know, that they gave approval for this application.
Well, and then Ken, with that being said, it's not up to us
Right.
to want to change their mind by whether or not it stays a buildable lot or it becomes not. I mean, it's just up to us to approve the lot line change.
Right. That's really the only question.
So then really it's a motion to approve the lot line adjustment.
Without going to the BOA.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. I don't have a problem with it, really.
Ed or Kathleen, do you have an issue?
No,
No.
I don't have an issue with it.
Do you have any more?
If I were the neighbor if I were part of the Hartung family, I probably would like to be informed of this so that I didn't find myself short of what I thought I had. But apart from that, I don't think that's our issue. And so I'm happy to approve it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in
So
fact,
we
I would move approval.
Yeah, all right, move to motion to approve the lot line adjustment.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, perfect, that's done. That one went a little quicker, a little easier.
Oh, great. Well, thank you all for taking the time to look at this. We sure appreciate it.
All right,
You're
thank
welcome.
you. All right, can I get approval of the meeting minutes for May 19th, 2021?
I approve.
Oops, I'm just say I don't have a copy of those minutes. And in my packet, it included the April minutes instead of the May minutes.
Oh.
Sorry about that, Kathleen. Don't know how that happened.
Yeah, mine was
If
from,
you don't need me, you can just go ahead and approve without me.
all right, can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Perfect. All right. This meeting is adjourned.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, no,
Thank
Kathy,
you.
no.
Thanks,
was-
Kathleen.
Yeah,
Good information tonight.
it's very good information.
I've been here
Yes.
too long.
Well, I
No,
always,
it's good.
yeah, it's
It's good.
very,
And yeah, I appreciate all that you said too, because it was very informative and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
you guys have a great
Bye.
evening.
Good night.
Yes, you too. Good night, everyone.